The other day I posted the video report on the Johnson Creek fatal go-around in the Cessna 206 that occurred back on 29 August using Blanco Lirio viewer Dustin Dickerson's first-hand account of eyewitnessing the accident. There's been a lot of great comments in the comment section, and one of the comments was that other people were reporting that the same aircraft, November 712 Alpha Mike, made a very similar approach, landing, and go-around just a few months earlier in the month of June. Well, we've unearthed that video, and here it is. This is the exact same aircraft, November 712 Alpha Mike, and presumably the same pilot landing at Johnson Creek, Idaho back in June. Note the belly pod on the aircraft, and it appears to be 2 people on board the aircraft and a lot of gear here in the back. So this is earlier in the year, in the month of June at Johnson Creek. The aircraft is landing in the normal direction. The video starts right here, late into the approach, just prior to landing. He's landing the normal approach and landing on the uphill runway, upstream with a slight tailwind, and let's play it out. Then we'll break it down.
Prop up, dude. Prop forward. Shit, man. Fucking props not forward, man.
On this go-around, the pilot of 712 Alpha Mike survived. Later in the year, in August, on 29 August, he crashed right about at this location, doing damn near the exact same thing. So let's break it down. I don't know what time of day this is, but normally you want to be landed by 12 noon. You do need to land uphill generally in these mountain airports, and that means you do generally sometimes accept a little bit of a tailwind. On the day of his fatal go-around, he had a much stronger tailwind, and I presume the temperatures were much warmer on the day of his fatal go-around. But here he is coming in too high and too hot, unstabilized approach. Normally, here at Johnson Creek, you need to make the decision to go around on about a 1/2 mile final due to rising terrain ahead. But this pilot is going to stick it out, and he's side-slipping the 206 with full flaps in an effort to jam it onto the runway. Much too fast. Starts the flare. Minimal flare. Tries to slam it on and immediately gets into a PIO. You see that up elevator there? Let's take a look at it back here. See that down elevator there? That is going to induce a pilot-induced oscillation. You're going to start porpoising the aircraft. You cannot do that. Bam! Right down hard on the nose gear. At this point, it's best just to cut your losses, chop the power, and accept the long landing. Get the weight off of the nose gear. Keep it off the nose gear. Instead, he elects to go around on this bounce with full flaps, and it sounds like he does not have his pre-landing checklist complete, which includes pushing the propeller lever all the way into the high RPM position. Because on this go-around, you can hear that the RPM is not turning up to its normal takeoff RPM. Attempting a go-around with full flaps in this short of a field is not going to work out. At this point, the pilot is basically stuck. If he begins to reduce his flaps, at this point, there's a good chance he's going to sink right into the trees.
Prop up, dude. Prop forward.
Yep, excellent point. These are professional pilots that are witnessing this, airline pilots and general aviation pilots. And this is the White House, the Bryant House, located on the end of the runway. And here's the large tree right next to the Bryant House. When you go around this late, much too late, here at Johnson Creek, your only recourse is to sashay around this tree and then hope that you can outclimb the terrain ahead. So here he sashayed around the large tree, and in his August attempt, where he did the exact same thing, he didn't learn his lesson, he never got his training, his proper mountain flying training to fly a stabilized approach into Johnson Creek in August. By the time he sashayed over to the left here, the aircraft stalled and crashed into the terrain right over here.
Shit, man. Fucking props not forward, man.
Only through the strength and the power of the Cessna 206 was he able to salvage that terrible situation in this case. In August, he was not so lucky. So who's teaching these pilots? Did this pilot ever get any backcountry flying experience or training at all before attempting to come up here to Johnson Creek? And then why did he come up here and do it again a second time with fatal results? Didn't he learn his lesson on the first time? This is just unbelievable. You have to be properly trained, current, and proficient in mountain flying before coming up to Johnson Creek. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See the first video on this for more detailed review of the procedures getting into and out of Johnson Creek safely. See you here.